Hey, welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Hope you're doing well out there. If you guys could subscribe, that'd be great, and appreciate you stopping by. Your Miami Heat finally get their first win in Vegas Summer League. They beat the Boston Celtics today, 100-96, and this was a show of distribution from Miami's top three guys going into this Summer League. They got fantastic performances today. Pelle Larsson, Keshad Johnson, the Arizona Wildcat Twins, and of course, as good news continues, and the effort, the talent, the explosiveness, Kel'el Ware, another great game by him. So back-to-back from Kel'el after all of the hullabaloo. Shout out to my guy Mark Hochman for that one. That surrounded Erik Spoelstra in the call-out. He put up an even better game than he did from his last one today. Kel'el Ware, 21 points, 15 rebounds, couple steals, one block shot. But I thought this trio had probably the play of the summer. This game, reminiscent of a lot of games that have given Miami some trouble, and that has been get out to a lead or play super close, have themselves a third quarter where it just all gets out of hand. And they yak up all the good things that they've done. But Miami was able to get up off the canvas after allowing Boston into this game. And even with Boston going up a couple possessions, Miami was able to get some big-time buckets as they would come back, get the victory. But the play of the summer for them, Hugo Gonzalez for Boston about to shoot. Kel'el Ware out of nowhere, a huge block, which leads to Keshad Johnson in transition. He finds his fellow Wildcat, Pelle Larsson, for the bucket and the foul. And the Miami Heat went up 93-91 after Pelle Larsson sunk the free throw. Just an absolute great play by Swedish Swish out there. And he's about to head off to Sweden. He's about to go head off to Eurobasket. So this was his last performance. And man, he was the epitome of consistency. That is the case for Pelle Larsson. Just continued to bring all of it forward the entire time, just attacking the rim with reckless abandon. And you got more of that today from Pelle. He was just absolutely sensational. 24 points for him. Another big game getting to the free throw line a ton. He got to the free throw line 10 times today. Was really a marvel with his aggressiveness. The only real thing you can say with Pelle is they kept getting him on that back tap turnover. So he did turn over the ball a lot, but I would whatever usage rate is tracked in Summer League, I would imagine that his was very, very high for this game. The only thing that really stood out on this rotation today by Eric Glass, who only played 8 guys in this game. Mind you, this was the second night of a back-to-back. They played Vlad Golden a little bit. No Kasparas Giacochonis today. He got the day off, so they sat their rookie, their first-round pick, and he did not get any action. A lot of the guys who played in the game before, some struggles all around that they did not play either. So, went very, very tight. He ends up starting Kyra Lewis. And then Eric Stevenson, while Pelle Larsson finished off probably the play of the summer, Eric Stevenson had probably the clutch shot of the summer because huge intangibles, 3-ball by Boston to bring it to within 1. Pelle Larsson about to put one of his patented drives to the basket. It gets swatted all the way to Eric Stevenson in the corner, a la Ray Allen, backing up. Bam! Hits himself a huge 3 to put Miami up 98-94. Boston would cut it back to 2 with about 4 seconds left. He'd then go to the free throw line. He'd hit both free throws, ice that puppy, and Miami would get it done. But today certainly was an inspiring performance by Miami's top 3 guys. Keshad Johnson also just flying all over the place. Huge athletic game from the Miami Heat forward, and an efficient game too. You talk about a game where he really stunk up the joint the last game against the Cavaliers. Today he finishes with 22 points. But I think, from his standpoint, hit a couple of big threes. His only misses were from downtown, around the rim, super efficient. He was 8 of 10 from the floor, 4 assists. Him and Pelle, I mean, just have such a connection with each other and so much chemistry. It reminds you of Bam Adebayo and Duncan Robinson. Just a connection. It's innate. You can just tell those guys know each other, know the basketball with each other very well. And, from their standpoint, just did a really great job. And just the relentlessness today from Keshad was very, very noticeable. We did have a little bit of chicanery in the first half of this game as Jordan Walsh from the Celtics, who I feel like is in every summer league I tune into. I was like, is he on summer league again? Like, I feel like, because the only time I see him, I'm like, is he on summer league again? But anyway, he got into it with Pelle Larsson. He shoves Pelle Larsson into the front row of Brad Stevens, and the Celtics brass was sitting, and he just had gotten a technical foul called. So he shoves Pelle Larsson. It's his second technical in like 30 seconds. He gets kicked out of the game, and he was cooking for them. And he goes out of the game, and all of a sudden they don't really have an offensive hub for themselves. And the Heat just start going on a run. I think they closed out on like an 11-1 run or 13-2 run, something like that, to end the first half. And Miami was up 54-41 with a lot of Pelle Larsson just getting after it. But the funny thing is that Pelle Larsson, he gets the foul. Then he goes after Walsh a little bit, and Kel'el steps in there too. But you can see as he's walking away from the chaos, like Pelle Larsson just has this cheese-eating rascal grin. You just want to pinch his cheeks. He's so adorable because he knew, he's like, got him. He got Walsh to just step over the line, and it was something. Now, while it took Boston a little bit to get their bases there in that second quarter, in the third quarter, man, I mean, they absolutely lit Miami up like a Christmas tree. They started hitting everything from downtown and outscored Miami in that third quarter 31-18 to basically blast Miami's home. And the big swing there was the three ball. They hit 5 threes, which, I mean, that was like, that was like Golden State Warriors type 3-ball annihilation for how this summer league has been going. But they go 5 of 11 from downtown, where Miami goes 1 for 6. And once again, it was a case of them going out there and just getting a lot more shots up. But those threes were what got them back in this game. So, credit to Miami for holding it down, holding down the fort. Kel'el Ware, monster alley-oops today. I mean, just some stuff that just really made you pop out of the seat. And so, for everybody who was hard on him and calling him Whiteside 2.0, I'm not saying that there's not a lot of work still to be done, but I do think we need to be reminded, because everybody was, going a little nutty. This guy's really talented. I mean, he really is. And I understand that there's nothing that probably pisses fans off more than a guy who is as athletic as all hell and has all the tools in the world, and you don't understand why he can't play at a certain rate. But dude, this guy, he really does have something to him. I mean, he pops off the screen like he is a Kryptonian, like he is an alien. And some of the blocks that he's able to come up with, and some of the other stuff, the strength, the handle, and all that, yeah, there's stuff that still has to grow. He's also 21 years old. And so, and I think the thing that is good is he really seemed like he handled it publicly in stride. I'm sure it was very frustrating for the Heat that they had to get to a point where Spo felt like he had to have that point, or maybe Spo was just feeling froggy and feeling super honest, because, he bottled up a lot of stuff, especially with the Jimmy stuff and other things that were bothering him last year. And it seemed like, maybe Pat Riley, remember when Pat Riley was telling Spo, he was like, yeah, he's really wearing it like more than ever. He's been through a ton in his life. And I just really wanted to set. Pat Riley was never, not scared to do what he did. Maybe it was a case of like, He's like, hey, man, if you feel like you got to rip guys publicly every now and then just to get it off your chest, do it. Don't keep it all inside all the time. Like, you don't always have to keep it as in there like a volcano. But whatever it was, whatever the reasons, whatever the motivations, it does feel like he was put on notice and it was effective. And you had the brass there, Spo, Quinny, Karan, UD, all there on the sidelines, watching their guys do their thing. And I also feel good for Eric Glass, who seemed very, very frustrated for these last couple of games. He tightens up the rotation. He keeps things really. And the other thing that was interesting with Kel'el today, who had what did he hit? 2 from downtown today. Kel'el Ware finished with. Did he have 3 3-pointers? Yeah, he was 3 for 3 from downtown today. He played him with Vlad Golden a tad today too, so he got a little bit of size support. He got a little bit of experience of like, hey, playing with another big like he is going to with Bam. So I thought that was fascinating as well. But ultimately, what's going to be Pelle's last game? Listen, I was dead wrong. I thought Ware was going to play in this game. He did, and he's played them both back-to-backs, by the way. For Ware, Keshad, and Pelle to have a game like this to close things out, you're 1-2. There's a bunch of undefeated teams. I don't know if there's going to really be a chance of the Heat making the semifinals. I guess they're not out of it because a lot of teams are just 2-0. But I'm going to assume that they don't. So they're off now, I think, until Thursday. But you're not going to have Pelle, which means you're going to put a little bit more on Yakachonis. So do you want, I guess for the Heat, are these 2 games enough for Kel'el to call to summer, move on? Keshad, you keep around kind of as the leader, see what you can get from Vlad Golden. I could be fine either way. I could also see it being a test where like, hey, they're gonna have 2 days of practice. Keep Kel'el around. Everybody's there. It was actually cool today. I don't know if you guys saw, but Norman Powell is in Las Vegas, and he met up with the Heat coaching staff on Instagram, and he made a nice post about it and took a picture with Spo and the staff, and I think he's doing the Kyle Lowry where he's working out at the UFC Performance Institute. So a lot of the Heat brass is there anyway. It's probably best that he just be there and get some work in. I'm just saying he doesn't necessarily, I think, need another game. If by somehow the Heat make the semifinals, cool, roll him on out there. But then also he's got 2 days off. So as I talk it out, I probably think he's going to play. He'll probably just wrap this puppy up and play, because I think ultimately the best thing is like everybody wants to be there to see consistency night after night after night. But for his counterpart, Pelle Larsson, I've been singing the guy's praises all summer long. I've told you, I think he deserves a rotation spot. If I was Jaime Jaquez, that would be the person who I'm most nervous about. Like, if I'm going to get any minutes, they're probably going to be slim to come by, but especially if Pelle's going to play. And I just think that the thing with Pelle that helps Miami is just needs more, I do think they need a little bit more grit. And if he could be their version of TJ McConnell, I just think that's going to go a long way for Miami. And he was so tremendous with his relentlessness, his attacking, taking charges, the tenacity, even being a little bit of a rascal where he's baiting guys into getting kicked out of games. When you have the mantra the Heat franchise lives by, you need a lot of that. And I think they need more Pelle Larssons and Davion Mitchells to just bring that dog to the franchise. And I just think he earned that. And I think it's going to obviously come down to a battle in camp between him and Pelle. And Spo talked a little bit about it's going to come down to a little bit of a battle, between Pelle and Jaime. And Spo talked a little bit about Jaime. I'm going to probably talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, because I thought he had some really fascinating comments on Jaquez. But Pelle Larsson, going to Eurobasket now, has done everything and more to show that he should get some playing time this year. And it's not like he wasn't getting any last year. Like, he had already shown a little bit of that, but I think he just continues to show himself as a guy who makes winning plays and needs to be out there for the Miami Heat. So great job by him, and also awesome to see Keshad. I think everybody knows, really fond of this guy as a player, and love everything that he brings. And I don't know if there's minutes there right now, the way with everybody, but if anybody is off the roster who does get traded, maybe if they have a year left on their deal, then I think he can kind of slip in there and provide some stuff, and we'll see. But he also, I think, one of the other things we talk about the Heat, like, needs athleticism, needs more explosiveness. He provides that, and the 3-point shot is coming along. Like, they put a ton of work into that stuff, and he had some big ones today. So really, really nice performance. Nice bounce back from Miami after yakking up a double-digit lead yet again, but they came in and came through clutch, and that was great to see. Nice job by the Miami Heat today.